Next question, Honorable Bhagwan.
643, Madam.
Madam Speaker, with your permission, I will answer this question. I have been informed by the police that from January 2017 till date, 127 fatal road accidents have occurred, causing 132 fatalities, involving 193 vehicles. The type of vehicles involved in these accidents are as follows: private cars 64, taxi 3, motorcycles 64, vans 22, goods vehicles 14, buses 5, bicycles 12, and other motor vehicles 11. I would like to highlight, Madam Speaker, that the number of accidents and fatalities occurring in a particular period of time varies. For instance, from January to end of March this year, there were 33 fatalities as compared to 42 in the corresponding period of last year. But from April to October this year, the number of fatalities has reached 93 compared to 73 in the corresponding period this year. With regards to Part B of the question, there have been 7 such cases. And regarding fatal accidents which occurred on pedestrian crossings during the same period, I'm informed that there have been 5 such cases. Madam Speaker, I wish to inform the House that there are 3 main factors that may be the causes of accidents: infrastructure, vehicles, and road user behavior. In line with the National Road Safety Strategy, which has been set to reduce the number of fatalities substantially by 2025, as regards to infrastructure, Road Safety Unit audit of some 400 kilometers of hazardous roads has been done. Construction and upgrading of footpaths also has been carried out. Installation and maintenance of traffic lights and speed cameras. Rehabilitation of hard shoulders. Installation of handrails, cat's eyes, and other urban furniture. And a traffic modeling unit is being set up at the level of my ministry. In respect of vehicles, vehicle examination centers equipped with modern systems are now operational to ensure roadworthiness of vehicles on our roads. A working group of officers involving the NTA, the Road Safety Coordinator, the National Revenue Authority, the Minister of Industry and Commerce, and motorcycle dealers has been set to examine the importation of motorcycle of Euro standards only. Madam Speaker, given that human behavior contributes to 93% of road crashes, we have taken the following actions. We have trained 23 driving instructors for motor vehicle, 15 police examiners, and the motor vehicle will be set very, very soon. We have trained 40 police riders to strengthen road traffic enforcement. We have a medical officer who has been trained by an expert from France in respect of medical fitness. We have trained 30 road crash investigators to look into the exact causes of accidents, and we have introduced a continuum of education project on road safety targeting primary school students and secondary school students. Madam Speaker, the Road Traffic Act has been amended to provide stricter penalties for driving under the influence of alcohol. We have also a traffic enforcement squad of 40 trained police riders to strengthen to see to it that road traffic regulations are met. Based on the statistics, Madam Speaker, obtained from the police, it has been observed that 44% of fatal accidents occurred during the night and 50% occurred before noon. Furthermore, fatal accidents are more frequent during weekends and mostly in the northern
Honourable
part
Minister,
of the
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have given you some leeway to give explanations, and I think that you have given sufficient explanation because you are bringing in elements which are not related to the main question. So can you please allow, because your reply is very long, and I'll take this opportunity to ask those who draft replies to questions asked to ministers to be to the point when they draft the replies, because you should give the opportunity to have supplementary questions, and during the supplementary questions you can come up with all the information that you have. Please. Would you finish in one line?
One last What I'm saying, Madam Speaker, is that it's unfortunate that in spite of all that we've done, the figures have not shown any progress.
Yes. Honorable Bhagwan.
This is not the first time we are asking this question because it concerns the public. Il ne passe pas un jour qu'il y a, on entend, il y a un accident fatal. Madam Speaker, from what we have heard from the Minister, I think the same reply, updating figures from what I asked last time. Doesn't the Minister believe that his whole strategy, has been a strategy which he has initiated, has failed? Has failed? Perhaps not totally, but on certain aspects. On many occasions, I've raised the issue, even on budget time, on the issue of road marking. Il y a aussi l'ameublement des panneaux sur les routes. Mais on est sur la rue. There is a real problem of road marking and also the visibility of these traffic signs, which we have raised on so many occasions here, and this is where I also consider the Minister has failed. Even on crossing.
Are you asking question on the traffic signs? Traffic signs.
I have always taken into account the observations and the proposals for the Honourable Member. What I would like to say, Madam Speaker, is that the whole issue, according to me, is the driving culture of Mauritian people. And this, we can do a lot as regards to infrastructure. We can do a lot as regards to roadworthiness. But the problem is the way we drive, is the driving, and this is an issue of education. And we have two issues also, Madam Speaker, is for the motorcyclists. We had no law, we had no training, there was no exam. Now we are going to train 7,000, and we hope that we're going to have results. We are setting up a number of, I have done what we can be done as regards to road marking and road signs. We will continue working on that. But I am totally confident about one thing. It's a whole issue of education and changing the mentality of the people and the driving culture.
Yes, Honorable Bhagwan.
I myself raised the issue of the bad habits of the drivers, how to the culture, the driving culture. But I think l'exemple doit venir en haut. Je ne fais pas ça une affaire personnelle. Honorable Korandavelu, you won't teach me how to do my job.
No, Honorable Korandavelu, from his sitting position, Honorable Bhagwan, there should be no cross-talking, especially when a Honorable Member is asking a question. I would rather ask the Honorable Member to ask his question than to cross-talk with others.
Honorable Korandavelu won't teach me how to ask questions. He has to go and learn himself how to behave in his ministry. But can I ask the Honorable Minister, but j'avais dit la fois dernière, je ne fais pas une affaire personnelle, l'exemple doit venir en haut. We know that we have VVIPs. How the VVIPs, not themselves, their motor behave on the road. Has the Minister had the opportunity to discuss with the Director of VIPSU, whoever, and the Commissioner of Police, how to train these motorcycle drivers driving the VIPSUs? Has he ever had the opportunity to discuss that?
I have a regular meeting with the Commissioner of Police, Madam Speaker, and we are seeing to it now that official vehicles also should be taken to task when it comes to speeding and other offences, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Swanmami.
In his opening remarks, the Honourable Minister has stopped at motorcycle dealers insofar as roadworthiness is concerned. Now, given that there are 12 deceased persons out of bicycles, can I ask the Honourable Minister whether, given bicycles are not registered, what kind of checks are done on bicycles to ensure their roadworthiness on the one hand, and whether the time has not come to make it obligatory for bicycle riders to wear crash helmets, given that many of them lose lives because of head injuries, like is in many other countries.
I totally agree with the Honourable Member, but it's the way people behave, Madam Speaker. You have somebody driving a bicycle, he believes that everybody should take care of him, whilst he is the most vulnerable person on the road. Now, the whole issue as we have been seeing as regards to standards of vehicles, standards of bicycles. For example, we have there are many motorcycles which are bought in Mauritius, but which are not of Euro standard. They are made for countries outside Europe. So we are talking to the dealers to see to it that we have the best vehicles on the road.
Honorable Selvon.
Would the Honourable Minister introduce the interdiced field sobriety test to detect driving under the influence of substance abuse, not alcohol only? If so, when?
We are working on it. It's very complicated, madam, because they have different categories of drugs. And with what is happening with the synthetic drugs, which are in fact evolving on a daily basis. But we are working on 3 categories, les opiacés, we're working on some of them. And we have, in fact, a doctor who came from France to work on it. And we are working with the State Law Office as well.
Honorable Ganu.
May I say another word also, Madam Speaker? It's about how to go about the test. You have the urine test and you have the saliva test. That is also, we are discussing how to go about it in practical terms.
Can the Honourable Minister inform the House whether he has a breakdown with regard to the age group of the drivers involved in fatal and serious accident, and whether there is any indication that most of these drivers are young people, and if that is the case, what does he intend to do to remedy the situation?
Strangely, Madam Speaker, in many other countries, the most important group, the most vulnerable group are children and old people. But strangely in Mauritius, the number of fatal accidents are occurring among people who are working. It's between 25 and 50. Maybe because we have also a number of accidents with motorcycles, and we have tried to understand it. People working on shift, so after the shift they are driving home and with the motorcycle. And then we have a number of accidents where there is no collision, there's no crash. It's just the person got, the motorcycle got out of control. So we are trying to understand this Mauritian culture, the Mauritian psyche, to be able to address the issue of motorcycle, because this is one of the most vulnerable groups.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, can I ask the Honourable Minister whether he would consider, in order to save lives, to ban motorcycle and bicycle from the motorway, like we have in European countries, that only a certain cc's of motorcycle can be ridden on the motorway.
This is a very tall order, madam. We know how people will react. What I would like to say is that with a new motor vehicle, then you'll have the certificate, that is a driver license, by age groups up to a certain capacity of the engine.
Last question, Honorable Valmudi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Now, with regard to the motor vehicle, may we know when they will be operational, and is that delayed linked to the fact that there is a problem with regard to the allowance given to the instructor?
No. The thing is, we had to start from scratch. We have to have the legislation, we have to train the trainers, we have to train the examiners, we have to have the regulations for the new test. So it's a question of weeks.